E. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, is it about that time I give my mom the keys to her bike? Okay, so you got two keys. The silver key is to open up the battery box, which you'll find two thin cables, so I get those out to charge them. This is self-explanatory, the voltage. Then this is your headlights on and off, including the air. This is has a running light, so turn this to the middle for the regular light, and then high beam, turn signals. Forgot the horn does not work. And this is your 3-speed. It's upside down because apparently I lost the little bolt screw to it, so it's in one. I mean, you can see it's just upside down, yeah. And then yeah, that's really it. Shoot, I didn't even say that part. So this goes right on the side. Bam. Usually you will hear a very slight motor whine, but because the fans are on, I can do it again. But like, did you hear that? No. It's very slight. And bam. Oh. So our last bike was that Mototech that a lot of y'all may remember, and the difference when it comes to driving and, you know, the way that bike feels compared to the Mototech is much different. Mototech is very solid, planted, you know, low center of gravity, and when I mean planted is it's really wide wheels, so you just don't feel like you're gonna fall over. Where that is right back to the thin wheel motorcycle, but it's a lot heavier. There we are, we're rolling. So we're probably just gonna be in the neighborhood for a little bit until you can get kind of used to it. I may not need these goggles right now, they feel unnecessary. I didn't expect her to go too fast in this video, unless she just starts ramping it up, which would be a little scary. But oh, here we go, her first turn. You see, huh? That's why I'm always doing a whole bunch of turns, especially with this bike. What's that, 272? This is 449.4. Damn, is that how cool I used to look? It's funny, because, I mean, I'm not tall, but she's 5'4", and that bike fits her a lot better. I never realized how small of a bike that was, but it's hard to, because it was my heaviest and biggest bike I've ever drove, been on, built at the time. But man, does it look good. It's good to see it back in action. It's cool to see it in third person again. Yeah. I know we ain't going nowhere. We ain't barely moving, but this is sick. All right. So as you can tell, I'm on the road. Like I did say earlier, more than likely she's not gonna go far. She's probably not even gonna leave the neighborhood, which we didn't. And it's not gonna be a super fast ride, but it was cool to have her on. So I thought, you know what, for anybody who wants to see a little more of this bike, now that it's back, let's go on a short ride. And because as of recently, I've been doing a lot of checking out spots, but spots that happen to be old neighborhoods I used to live in, like North Spring Valley / the lakes. I thought, you know what, let's do that one more time. I was also thinking maybe I should do this as a separate video, but this spot I'm about to go to is pretty much in my area. It's not going to take me long to get there. It wouldn't be much as its own video. But again, I thought it'd be pretty fun to take a small trip to a spot I used to live at to get a little more showcasing of this bike again now that it's back. Besides, if I'm being 100% honest, the clip of my mom riding this bike, I might be wrong. I'll put a text up if I am, but I think that was a month before the Sur-Ron Mega Ride. This bike alongside with like the Sur-Ron build and all this stuff were kind of like late uploads because this was been supposed to happen, but due to a lot of delays, like the Sur-Ron build delay, took 2 months for me to get my controller, the Bobber delay. It took 4 months to figure out that the new Bobber's controller issue. Just for it to turn out that it's a dud controller. A few things were supposed to come out. So one of these days, I'm gonna see if I can get her back on the bike. I think one of the reasons she hasn't got back on too is because she doesn't have a helmet. But because I have a new helmet, where I've bought a new helmet, I was supposed to give her my old one, but I keep forgetting to. I think she also keeps forgetting to ask about it. But anyways, back on the trip, because it's a short trip and I pretty much came off of a full charge, 82.3 volts before I rolled off. Are you letting me pass? Because I'm a little far away to do that. I think I'm gonna turn the power up and have a little bit of fun. Hey, look at this view. We're in gear 1 right now. Let's turn it up to gear 2. Oh man, it picks up some more, I'll give it that. It's not what it once was, but it's going, I'll say that much. I used to be able to do up to like, I think I know it did almost 70 in gear 2 one time. I know on average I was able to hit up to like 64. So gear 2 is not bad. Hey, but I got my little zoomies going. Oh man, this is still such a fun little bike. Oh, but actually, I'm talking about going to an old spot I used to live in, like I did in North and Spring Valley / the lakes. But I didn't go into details about this spot we're going to, so let's talk about it. This spot right here, it's a simple little neighborhood. This specific house is the house that we were staying in, not quite fully living, but staying in when we moved to Vegas. And we moved out here for good. It's 2008. And this house we're about to go to was my aunt's house. Me and my family were sleeping on our aunt's floor until my parents could get a job and get our own spot. Whew. I forgot this controller is weird like that, where it's like you flip it into a lower gear and it doesn't go automatically. You got to give it like a second or else it's still in the gear it was originally in. I just realized something. I did all this pushing it in gear 2. Not only is it really cold out here, so the battery is not as much. This is a 2-year-old battery now. So I really have to, I'm probably gonna have to do a slow drive home, maybe. Just in case. This battery might not be able to do what it used to. I guess the only difference is driving to this spot. I've never quite been on this road. I mean, I've been on this road to go to this hotel right here. This is where we did the review. And no, this is not the same day of recording the review. Just around the same time, I went out here to record the review on this bike at 11. It's 11 right now, so you know, this thing ain't got the battery to drive here, do the review, drive back, and then now driving here. Yeah, we ain't got all that battery. Here we are. This is the entrance. It's about to be weird. I have not seen this neighborhood. Let me tell y'all right now, I haven't seen this neighborhood in 16 years. It has been 16 years since I used to live down here. So this is weird. This is funny being back here. Now I got one story to tell though, being in this neighborhood as soon as we get to the house. Hey, little bike right here. That is not a Harley. That's a weird looking headlight. Right here. This brown house right here. Sheesh, man, it's so small. But see, check this out. When you come from New York, man, unless you're in the fancier areas, you're living in 1920s houses. I'm at the park right here. I don't care if I look suspicious. You're in 1920s housing when you're living in New York. And the average house in Buffalo, at least from what I know of, is like, holy shit. Hold on. Is that a goddamn Humvee? Holy shit, man, these trucks are fucking amazing. Let's not lose track though. Yeah, Buffalo housing is usually about 800 to 1100 square feet. That motherfucker is so wide. It's funny though seeing this in person again. The first time I ever seen it in person, I knew it was a flat, kind of short truck, but now I'm kind of remembering how flat and short of a truck this is. But yeah, man, the housing is so old. So when we moved here and we seen these houses, man, these look big as hell. But let's get back on track. So this house right here, like a little mini mansion. It was my aunt's house. We slept on the floor for a minute. Basketball hoop still there. I remember somebody who used to live here, who my brother ended up becoming friends with, had a basketball hoop in front of their joint. Let's circle around the neighborhood real quick. I do and don't remember this neighborhood. The one reason why I do remember, besides the fact that I'd be like biking around and kick scooting around with my cousins, brothers, and sisters, I remember one time, I think I was trying to follow my other sister, but me being 6, I was trying to catch up with her because she was about to head out. I was late doing something, don't remember. Maybe I was using the bathroom or something. But me being 6, I felt like I almost got lost in this neighborhood, and then I ended up finding the house. But speaking of the house, I don't remember where the house is. I don't remember. I have no clue. It might have not been this way because I don't remember a blue house being in this neighborhood, but apparently there's a blue house down here. I just remember I found the house, and the house was actually mainly a friend of my cousin. Then we moved in, the friend ended up coming over, and then my sister started becoming friends with the girl. Her name was Cassidy. But I just remember after finding the house, okay, I saw Cassidy's mom sitting at the table eating. She didn't know who entered the door. She said, "Whoever entered the door, you better take your shoes off in my house." I was shy as hell, so I was scared to say anything. I kind of froze. She still didn't see me. She was eating, so I just stepped back and closed the door. So she probably eventually got up like, "Who the hell was that?" It was me. I didn't enter the house. I was scared. Can't remember if it was one of these houses, but Bernard, a friend of my brother's, we used to kick scoot out here. It was not older, my brother, and then we're about the same age. And my oldest brother, and him ended up becoming friends. And then he had a little brother, and we would come out here kick scooting and would fuck around. But let's talk about the main story of this neighborhood. This one was explosive. So we was right here in this little brown house, and there was an old dude right there. I'm gonna assume he had to be between the ages of 55 to 65. He used to have this orange van. He would park it everywhere. But then me, I was really oblivious. I was 6. But I do remember instances we'd be out here playing around, and he'd be out, and he would just stare at us. I wasn't sure what that was about. Wasn't always paying attention, but the times I saw it, I noticed he was staring. And then the more it happened, I noticed it was a little weird. I could have swore, I'm not remembering. I'm not 100% sure. I could be completely wrong, but I felt like somebody said he was racist. I don't know if it was one of my cousins, or Bernard. And then later on, my second oldest cousin that was in this house had the idea, while we were all out kick scooting playing around, had the idea to fake shoot his van that he would park everywhere. He'd have it on the side. Oh shit, I'm blocking someone's house right now. Let me get out the way. What the weird hell is going on? So we fake shot up the van, and he happened to be out, and he started sticking his middle finger at us. He said a few little N-words, and he just started cussing us out completely. So then we went in the house. We called our dad. He's like, "Yo, the old guy across the street started cussing us out." Put his shoes on. The moment my dad started putting his shoes on, he just said, "Who?" He started putting his shoes on. We know someone was about to go down. My aunt was started looking a little nervous because obviously my aunt, aka my dad's sister, knows how her brother is. I got a good idea of how my father is, so I'm like, "Oh shoot, it's about to go down." He comes outside. Now my dad's a big dude, and I think my other aunt happened to be over because they were chatting, and that's why we were outside playing with all the cousins. Now another thing too, I happen to be short a part of my family. A lot of the other people in my family are really tall, really big. So long story short with that, my aunts, they're quite big. They're some big women. I think they're both like 5'10", 5'11". They're taller than me. So they had to stop my dad from coming across the street. It turned into a yelling battle. Then my grandma came out. His wife came out talking smack right here in the street. My grandma came out, started like fast-paced walking towards her, chatting. The old lady, the old racist lady, I'm gonna just say that, started walking away. It was a whole feud, and my two big-ass aunts had to stop my dad from coming across the street and beating the brakes off the dude. Yeah, man, it was hectic. It was hectic. So it was things like that, and just situations living with my aunt, why we needed to hurry up and get out of here and get our own spot. So yeah, man, that was a crazy story. 6 years old, and I dealt with my first racist situation. That shit was crazy, and I remember that memory like damn near vividly. Why do they have a gate here if there's a brick wall? Are these new houses back here or something? Were these houses not back here in 2008? Because that may be, actually. I'm curious now. Is this new housing or newer? Probably not that new. Probably like 2009, 2010 housing. Because that gate is ripped open. So it's probably like a dirt field back here, because who the hell would rip the gate open just to get back there? I usually think my life is not really crazy, but damn, some crazy things be happening around me. I gotta be careful out here. But now that we are sitting here, man, let's take a look at this bike. For anybody who made it this far in the video, curious, how do you like the new look? Sometimes I'm kind of torn between the new taller forks and the old short ones. I feel like the taller forks gives it a little bit, nothing crazy, because this is like regular stock cruiser fork height. But I do feel like it gives it a little bit of more of a chopper look, having this taller stance. But I do kind of miss the old low stance, because that really gave the lowered bobber look. But I think it's about time I end it here, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all enjoyed this little video right here. Now, I will try to get my mom back on the bike. I think she's going to be a lot more comfortable on it once she gets a helmet, which my old helmet is a large, so it should fit her. She's just got to wrap her hair up properly. So again, I'm going to see if I can get her back on the road, do a little more practice so she can get used to it, go a little faster, go a little bit further, and we can have a nice full little trip. But I'm going to say it again. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to get electrified with the rest of the people. Become electric with the rest of the people. It has been and me. I'm out. Peace.